the wind's kind today as well, so you don't want to see a finals decided by who gets the best gust or the
No.
worst. Yeah.
I mean, I think we've had a whole range of weather conditions this week. We started off with a lot of high winds, which were quite warm. They must have been coming up from the south.
Yes.
Then it turned cold and windy.
Yeah.
Yesterday we had the rain. Goodness, did it rain yesterday?
It rained yesterday, yeah.
And now today we've got probably perfect conditions. Possibly the only thing that the archers might be concerned about is the sun, as we said. You know, it's shining off the points, maybe off the sight rings, the sighted archers. But generally, the sun's moving round to the right-hand side. It shouldn't be a problem, really.
Yeah.
And of course, left-handed archers, they'll be looking away from it anyway, so it won't be in their sight.
Yeah. So, archers will go now. When they hit the peg, they will have 2 minutes to shoot their 3 arrows. They will shoot simultaneously at a 40 centimetre target face from 20 metres away. It's a very slight uphill. It's a gentle target to settle them into the final, really, and to set the pace.
Yeah, it's actually quite a nice target to start off on.
Yeah, just settles the nerves a bit, doesn't it? I don't think you'd want to start on the big 40 uphill.
Oh no.
Yeah, you can see they are still quite elevated for this shot. Oh, there we go. So, Porte with a 2 and Strobbe with a 4. Yep. Very good. So, there we go. You can see the shorter range, the down from the arrow. And a 4 again. And another 4. So, there we go. 2 arrows each so far. 8 points for the French athlete and 6 for the Italian. Loads of time. So with the Barebow, we see in various masses of weight on the front and underneath the grip. What's the theory behind this then on the Barebow?
Okay, well, Barebow, as the name suggests, it's kind of bare of all the accessories that the other divisions have, so we're not allowed any kind of stabilizers that you'll see the other divisions sticking out forwards and sideways and backwards. There's no sights, obviously, but they are allowed to add some mass weight to the bow. Now, it must be below the handle. They're not allowed to put it above the hand.
Okay.
And also, I mean, it must be attached directly to the bow, so it's not allowed to have any sort of rubber component between it that would give an extra vibration dampening. It's purely for, to balance the bow. And if you put the weight below the hand, you can see on some of these shots they've got these steel weights just in front of where the fingers would be.
Yeah.
And some of them you can see they've got weight lower down, and they even have it sort of strapped into the handle. And what that does, it gives you a kind of like a pendulum effect, that you get this weight below your hand, and it helps to keep the bow upright.
Yeah.
And that's really important. If you think about it, when you let go of the string moves forward, the limbs move forward, and the arrow is thrown up into the air, basically.
Yes.
In a straight line. So if the bow's leaning one way or the other, so if it's leaning to the left, the arrow is not only going up in the air, but it's also going left across the target.
Okay.
And this is really key in field archery, because you can get these targets at all different kind of angles across the slopes, and the real key is to keep the bow upright.
Yeah. So there is, I have noticed, I'm not going to name check anyone here, but Italian manufacturers seem to really think about the Barebow risers. I have noticed they can build very clever internal weight systems into the riser. You really can customize it for what you want. So very similar first arrows here on the big 40 meter for archer athletes.
Yeah, you're right there, John, about the bow design. I mean, a lot of archers just choose to take a standard recurve bow and add some weight to it, but then you can have a specifically designed bow for barebow shooting.
Yeah. That's very good. So, second shot from Porte was a 4. Oh, that was Strobbe, I apologise. No, yeah, from Porte. Strobbe there. So she has 8 for that target, 7 already for Port. So a chance here to really open up a 2. Okay.
Well, it's useful points to help increase the lead, but she could have punished her opponent there.
Yeah, absolutely. Big chance there to build a big lead going into the third target. But so we have a 3-point lead at the moment to our athlete from France, Chantal Porte, over Eleonora Strobbe of Italy. They're both looking a little bit tense to me. The Barebow, a lot of the compound archers, the recurve archers who are here, a lot of them, they also shoot World Cups and indoor World Cups and various other international events. But the Barebow archers, I was saying this to an athlete on the British team this week, they get one chance a year to perform.
Yeah, you're right,
on the
John.
international stage, so they're not as used to being out in this arena and under this big screens and people watching. And
it's a good point, John. The more you do this, the more you get used to it. You know, naturally you're going to have a rush of adrenaline, you can have nerves, you feel a little bit nervous and shaky. Well, the more you do that, the more you get used to it, and it just becomes normal.
Yes.
Like you said, if you've got several World Cups, you know, World or European Target Championships to shoot, you get used to it. But, you know, the Barebows, they only get this one chance each year.
Yeah.
So it's difficult to kind of prepare for that and get used to those nerves.
Yeah. So, but it's good. They're putting on some good arrows down here. This, as I said, this is a really speaking to Chris White earlier, he thinks this is one of the most testing finals courses he's seen at a World or World Games for a very long time. And he thinks this is brilliant design this weekend.
Yeah, it's good to see this kind of quality of targets to shoot at.
Yeah.
You know, we've had some that have been a little bit flatter, but this lends itself really well. You've got these great rocks to look at. Everybody in the crowd can look up and see the targets.
Yes.
They're in view of everybody, and it makes a great arena to shoot in.
So 4 from Strobbe, possibly 5, I think that's a 4, and a 1 from Port. So here you go, the close range target proving tricky. So now we are tied, 21 apiece, just over halfway through the final. So you don't want to be getting behind at this point going into the last target. You need to be within 1 or 2.
Oh, look at that. Great
go.
arrows from both of them.
Yeah. 5s there, pretty much identical. Yeah. I do think with the field format though, if you're behind, there is always a chance because you're setting your sight. We've seen people make mistakes on their sight set. Yesterday in the women's team final, we've seen it again this morning in men's bronze junior. What have we got there?
Again, a pair of 4s.
So let's shot in different orders.
Oh, that's right. We're looking at the wrong faces there.
Yeah. So Strobbe takes the lead all of a sudden. 30 to 32, 2 points, big swing there, 5-point swing on that target there for Strobbe.
Again, 2 points. It's a useful lead. I mean, you take anything that was on offer to you going into the last target.
Yeah.
But 2 points, that's nothing. That could go either way.
15 on the bunny is actually a very good score for Barebow, isn't it? There from Strobbe.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That's good, solid shooting to get her back in the game.
Yeah. Fantastic. So poor arrow came back strong with a 5 and a 4, but Strobbe 4, 5, 6 swings the match totally. But we're now going to 50 meters on 80 centimeter face, up and across the slope. We saw on the last match, you get your bow tilted a little bit wrong, and the result from it is not very forgiving.
That's right. This is the maximum distance that the Barebows shoot.
Yeah.
Of any distance over the whole tournament.
Yeah. A little bit of breeze just coming through our tent as well now. So we're very close to the athletes where it's at.
Yeah, you can see her accreditation, her back number. It's on her quiver, not her back. Just fluttering a bit in the breeze, so they'll be watching those flags up there by the target.
Yeah. Strobbe shoots first. That sounded not great. A 2 and then a 4. So all of a sudden we're tied again. Left again. It's really pulling the arrows across this target.
Yeah, they could be getting caught out by the way the targets sit in.
Yeah.
You sometimes tend to follow the angle of the target. If it's not exactly square, they might be leaning a little bit with the target.
Yeah. Oh, Strobbe just got a miss. Can't believe it. And then a 5 from Porte. Oh, wow. So that is really, really a big arrow there.
Really, that's an uncharacteristic mistake from the Italian.
Yes. She's an experienced archer, but yeah, she shot well out here yesterday in the team. Left again. Oh, great arrow flight there. Look at that group. 3 arrows there from the French to become world champions. So Chantal Porte of France is the 2016. Oh, she's absolutely made up at that.
Yeah, she's emotional, and why wouldn't you be if you just won the medal?
Yeah, but Strobbe went into the last target with a 2-point lead, but just couldn't read that slope, and Porte absolutely nailed that, really. 13 there on with a Barebow is quality shooting.
Oh, I think that's about as good as we've seen.
Yeah, she's really, the lady Porte from France there is absolutely made up. Yeah, fantastic, really good match.